This is an article that was written by the Rogers Park neighborhood paper, summer of 2006. The title is 10 Stores That Will Have You Coming Back, and I was lucky enough to be one of the stores at that time. And it states that if you have an eye for antiques, Lakeside Treasures specializes in vintage pine wood furniture. Betty McDaniel decided 13 years ago that she would own a little shop after retirement, which I did. She opened in Rogers Park in a former grocery store space. Since her first sale, a vintage hand-painted corner cabinet, Betty has been in the antique business, with prices ranging from $3 to $7,000. There is something for anyone with an eye for antiques. I believe I was 12 or 13, and my parents decided that it was time that I get big girl bedroom furniture. And we went shopping. I saw nothing that I liked. I hated everything I saw. But my grandmother had an attic in her house, and I would go up there to the attic sometimes. And there was this old bedroom furniture up there that I loved, and I asked my mom and dad if I could have that. You know, you have to remember they're from the Depression era. They said, absolutely not. No, you can't have that old stuff. And finally they gave in and said yes. And I got the bed, and there was a vanity that came with it. And I loved that furniture. So as I got older, I was always looking at older furniture. And in my early 30s, I started going to vintage stores, you know, resale shops, always for furniture. I decided one day, I was in this shop on Ashland, and the guy, I remember his name, Bert, he had an antique store. And I told him, Bert, one day I'm going to open an antique store just like yours, because I would walk in, he had his desk, and these guys were sitting in chairs facing him, and I always referred to him as holding court. I mean, people were laughing and just having a good time. So I decided that's the kind of shop I want, where people feel comfortable coming into, talking, and just hanging out. Oh, I'm sure that guy tells people stories all the time. Yeah, there was this old black lady and this old white man in this truck, and they were speeding down Green Bay Road, and the back of the truck flew over there. I said, well, at least he had people laughing. And when I retired, I thought I had enough to open the shop. I didn't, but I had to add some of my personal money, but I didn't care. And I haven't regretted a minute of it.
You know?
Yeah, but you see, that's what I say. That's what I tell people. We always assume that people will always be around, but you never know.
Yeah.
Well, but I plan to be around a long time.
Oh, you're going to be around, yeah, for sure.
Well, honey, you're only 37.
I'm not going to this place.
You two going to be around forever.
Yeah.
I promise.
Well, my oldest daughter, she would say, why is it that my friends have all this neat furniture and we have all this old stuff? And I said, well, because I like old stuff. I said, and how many times have your friends parents have to replace their furniture. I said, this is the same furniture that's been around since you were. She said, yeah, I know, but it's old. Of course, now they do appreciate the older pieces. They actually have dibs, as they refer to it, on pieces in the house. And I said, that's interesting. You hated it when you were growing up, and now you want to say that this is the piece that you want. And my grandson, when he was in college, he would always help with deliveries when he was, for the summer. And some of his friends who he went to school with, who, they still live in the area, they would come and do deliveries for me. So of course, everyone at that time lived on the 3rd floor, according to my grandson. So one day he did ask, Grandma, do you have any customers that live on the 1st floor maybe? I said, no, that would be too easy for you. Why would so? He didn't think it was that funny, I did. But even today, when I need something to be picked up or delivered, he always makes himself available on a weekend day to help out. And his wife, who's the one from Pennsylvania, she seems to like the shop more than any of my kids or grandkids. The grandkids like it, but my grandson's wife seemed to enjoy it, I should say. She likes being here. So maybe it will be a legacy for their child or children, you just never know.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm great. The sun is out and so I'm out smiling. Makes me happy. I think it fulfilled every expectation that I had, and it's exceeded, actually, I should say, because my parents and my grandmother, they always taught me, you have more than someone else, so you give and your blessings come back to you. So I grew up hearing that, kept thinking, oh yeah, right, sure it will, but I still believe that to this day. My thought was, if I can survive for 5 years, I will feel like I accomplished my goal. I never thought I would still have this shop 18 years after I opened it. That I didn't even want to think beyond 5 years. And I do, I love it here. I love the neighborhood, the people. Yeah, this is my dream fulfilled.